Welcome everyone. If you've got fences, eventually they're gonna sag. I'm gonna show you how to make a bracket today for fences that are probably a little older, maybe they've grown into the soil, and you don't wanna hurt your back trying to pull them up. So this bracket will fit on a high lifter jack or a farm jack. Pretty simple to make. If you don't weld, just have your friends that know how to weld make one of these for you. Super simple, and I'll show you it in action after we get done. But here's the procedure. We're gonna use some rectangular tubing, some square tubing, some unistrut nuts so we can make some little locks to hold the arms that are gonna come out off of this sleeve that's gonna go on top of this farm jack. So I'm gonna switch into my welding gear and start chopping away and show you how I'm gonna make this. All right, as you can see, the rectangular tubing is gonna slide over top of the main backbone of the jack. And it's gonna come all the way down and rest on top right here. So we've got a little bracket that I have to cut off here. I don't need this. I don't care if the handle stays up or not. Doesn't matter to me. I'm not gonna mount it on the back of my Jeep or anything. All right, now you can see that our rectangular tubing goes all the way down to the head of the jack that's gonna move up and down. Okay, so the next thing I wanna do is, in my experience, cows can push a fence down to about 30 inches-ish and step over it. So since I have cows, I'm gonna start my brackets at about 30 inches. Let me get that turned so you can see it. So here's 30 inches. And that's where I'm going to, it'll actually be facing this way, but I'm gonna put a couple of square brackets on here that I can put some 1-inch rebar into, and it'll stick out about 16 inches, flaring out like this. So if I have a T-post right in here someplace, I can put the fingers underneath the top rail of the wire fence, and I can jack it up against the T-post and tie it on. So about 30 inches where I'm gonna start. All right, I'm gonna use this 1-inch rebar as the fingers that stick out from the sleeve that slides down over the jack. I'm gonna start with 16 inches because I don't know how long I really want them, but 16 sounded good. So there's 16. I've got my safety glasses on, all my protective equipment. I'm ready to go. I don't think these have to be exact. You could use square tubing, you could use whatever you got laying around. I just happen to have this rebar laying around. It's amazing how fast the Metabo will cut through that much steel. All right, now to determine how long to cut these. I think I want them full length, maybe slightly longer. And this is 2.5-inch rectangular tubing. So I'm gonna mark these at 2 3/4. 2 3/4. I'll do one from this end, 2 3/4. All right, so this is the basic outline that I want. So I'm going to measure what that is in there and find something to fill that gap so that when I weld these on, they keep that angle. It's about a 1/2 inch. Okay, I found some little 1/2 inch pieces of rod, and those are gonna be my spacers so that I can weld this up. But in essence, that's what it's gonna look like just higher up on this sleeve here. Okay, next step is to drill a pilot hole. Now I plan on adding a hook to our bracket so that if I have to put a chain down to a fence and pull it up from the top of my bracket, we can do that also. So I'm gonna cut 4 lengths of chain off of this longer chain, and we will end up adding that to the top of the bracket. That's gonna be our 4 lengths that we're gonna use on top of the bracket. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is weld our little jam nut on here. Okay, that should hold it really well. Now we'll do this one. Gonna tack it in and then weld it. Those welds are plenty sufficient to hold that little lock nut on. Okay, so next, that's gonna be the top. So I want my jam nut to be towards the back so that the pipe or the piece of rebar that we're gonna use doesn't sag too much, and I can lock it in and not have it falling out all the time. So I'm gonna put my spacer right about there. Line this up at the back here. And at the front. Okay, I think that's all the welding. I know the welder's a little loud on this video, but bear with me. So once this cools down, I'm gonna go ahead and just give it a coat of paint and a try, but right now, I'm gonna pull these here. Point this to you, and like I said, you can use black iron pipe or whatever. I happen to have this rebar laying around here, so this is just simply going to slide in there. This is going to slide in there. It's going to create a spot here that I can work on the T-post and the fence once I pull it up, and just simplify my life, because pulling up on the fence will severely hurt your back. It's just an awkward move. And as I get older, I want to work smarter, not harder. Okay, so this is still really hot, so I got to work around it, but we're going to add this hook. Here we go. All right, put that cotter key back in. Send it out. Okay, that will help us if we need to pull anything also. We can just hook a chain to it, and the jack will pull it right up. So I've got friendly cows here on the Turner Chair Farm, and the other day they went over the fence to visit the neighbor. So I tried pulling it up a little bit, found out the T-posts were a little too short. So today, on this saggy fence on the ground that I leased, we're gonna go ahead and replace the T-post, and we're gonna deploy the farm jack with the new bracket that I made to raise this up, because I almost broke my back trying to pull this up out of the vegetation has grown over top of the bottom wires on this fence. And with that and the combination of the short T-posts, it's easy for the cows to go over. And I don't want them visiting anybody else. So we're gonna fix this today. Okay, I have to say that's a resounding success because it was pretty much effortless. The jack is brand new, so it's a little catchy, but I can pull this fence right back to the T-post, put a T-post tie on it, and it's going to stay up this time. So thumbs up to the new bracket for the farm jack. So I've been tying fence posts and T-posts for a long time, and I got to tell you what, I'm going to do a video on how to make this amazing little tool. See the little hole in the end of it? I'm going to show you how easy it is to put T-post ties on with this tool right here. All right. There. That tie is so tight, it's not going anywhere. So I think I can let the jack off now. Perfect, look at that. It stayed up there nice and solid. Move the jack completely out of the way. And now I can put the rest of the ties on, and this fence is not going anywhere. All right, so I only had to replace about 3 T-posts right here with taller T-posts. This is the last one, and I gotta say that this jack has saved my back. So we'll get this one on it here. One more. All right. We get some ties. We're gonna tie this one up and we're done for the day. Now everybody with cows knows that fences are just a suggestion because at 1,400 pounds, they can pretty much go where they want to go. My girls are pretty darn tame, so I don't have to worry too much unless the fence is nice and low for them, in which case they get curious. They think everybody's supposed to bring them treats. So if they don't get treats, they start looking at the neighbors like, hey, you want to bring me some treats? So there we go. That will keep them honest right there.
Thanks for watching.